Hi, what's up, and welcome back. Sorry, I should have put this out a long time ago, but better late than never, I guess. So, every year at beginning of the year, like January, February, there's always JLF. That's Jaipur Literature Festival, and for about 3, 4 years, I go for GLF, and this year was no different. But it was like amazing, and as always, it's always amazing. But then somehow they seem to top the previous year, and a lot of people might have a different opinion of how they feel. Some people might think, okay, it's too maybe they feature only big writers. They is much more commercialized now. Like met someone that I know, but like he was coming there, so we met, and he mentioned that earlier years it used to be free entry, and now they charge about 200 rupees each. But I think it's fair because you need to be able to have an idea of how many people come to your thing, and I mean it's amazing. These things cost money, so honestly, I wouldn't mind paying 200 rupees. And then, for example, this is when Projector Kohli, she's a famous social media creator and also an actress now, and also a writer. So this was her launching her first book at GLF, but I think some people pre-ordered it already. And I mean, I've seen videos of people being in places where people go crazy for someone, and I think this was the first time that I experienced that in person. And a lot of her demographic, her fans and all that are like Gen Z, so it was crazy. Like the crowd was massive and stuff like that. And so before this year, every other year that I have attended GLF, I have gone with someone, either one person or two people. I've always gone with someone. And this year I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go alone. And I think that was one of the best decisions that I made, because when I went, like when you go with someone, at least in my own opinion, there's always the agreement of what you guys should do. And maybe once in a while you split up and everyone goes to what they want. But when you go alone, there's that full ownership of your time, of what you want to consume, or what you want to enjoy. And yeah, so this year I went alone, but I happened to meet my friend Diksha there. She also came. I think she also met one of her friends there who came together. I forgot now. And so it was her friend's first time, and I kind of asked them questions about that later. And it was nice. They are also Gen Zs, but it was a nice vibed well with them. Then I saw my friend Ashmita. We went to Pushkar together. If you've been following the channel for a while, otherwise you can watch the Pushkar video. That's Ashmita. I also met her there. We hadn't seen in a long time, so it was very random to see her. Then I saw my friend Kavita there as well. So like I mentioned, if you've been following the channel for a while, then Kavita was with me last year at JLF. So I just ran up. Apparently, so I was sitting down, and she just comes. I just said, Sophia, and I turn and I see. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, yeah, I recognize your shoes. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I have these Jordan 1s, nothing but net. And I think I only know two other people who have that shoe. And, it's one of my most prized belongings, because it has the pattern from the Jordan 92 in Barcelona, I think. And it's really cute. I like it personally. I mean, I have it too. Literally had to buy on StockX, because when the shoes came out, the rush, and it was just very limited pieces. So I have those shoes, and she recognized me from my shoes that I was wearing. And I had so much fun. And because that weekend was packed, so we had JLF, and we also had Jaipur Art Week that same weekend. And I just tried my best to attend as many things as I could, and I'm really, really, really glad I did. So, for example, this right now is at Baythac, and one of the people in the panel, they were talking about food, and one of the people in the panel happened to be at one of the talks I attended from the Jaipur Art Week the next day. I didn't even recognize him there. Like, I didn't even remember that I saw him at GLF. But then the next day after that, he was back at GLF, and I attended the session, and he was there, and I was like, oh my God, that's the man I so earlier. So he's a writer, and I have to remember his name and plug it somewhere if possible. And he, what's it called? Uh, Translated a poetry into English, if I'm correct. And yeah, so that's what he does, and he has his own poetry too that he writes. So this is Diksha and Shubhanchana. I'll let you. So Shubhanchana, this was your first JLF, and I want to know what your experience was like.
Like, my experience was really nice. This was my first time coming over here, so I would like to continue it every year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, let's see. But yeah, it was a great experience for me.
Okay, so I mean, if you say it was a great experience, what exactly are you taking away from this experience? What is the one thing that you enjoyed here?
I'm taking you. I loved your companion.
Thank
it was
you.
also first time.
Yeah.
So I liked
Thank you.
it. I
Okay, let's take me out of the equation. What is the one thing that you really enjoyed here and you love to come back for
the
more
decorations,
Okay.
because I'm a graphic designer.
Okay.
So I love art and I like the decorations very much. And yeah, I hope like the stalls and everything, but it's all good.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so Diksha, what was your experience like at JLF?
It was good. The crowd management was not really nice. There were a lot of people, and other than that, it was good. The stalls, you should definitely check out them, and the lineup for the speakers is also nice. But I have been to the JLF since last 3-4 years, and honestly, the previous ones were better than this one. It might be a personal opinion, but it's true. So yeah, that's
What?
like the previous, all of the previous JLFs,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion, were better than this one.
Why is
The
that?
lineups
Oh,
were
okay.
always more interesting.
Yeah.
And the crowd management was never a problem
Yeah.
before this.
Okay.
The major issue that I faced today was crowd management. So JLF, please look into that.
Okay. Hopefully they see this.
Please do.
And so how many workshops or anything did you attend, and what was your favorite one?
Okay, so I attended 3 sessions
Okay.
on an average, and my favorite one was Prajakta Kohli's because I'm a big fan,
Okay.
and I actually got to get her book and get it signed as well.
Okay.
That is why. Plus, she is like a great content creator, so I really wanted to see her in person. So that was my favorites.
Okay, so what's the one thing you are going to take away from her session that you feel that you can apply into your personal life and personal doings?
Okay, so I have been wanting to get into content creation for quite some time now, and she mentioned something that around the same lines, that if you want to start somewhere, the main point or the key point is just start it. Don't think about it a lot. Do not ponder on it. Just start it. Just do it, and you can, just if it doesn't come out the way you want it, you can always change it, but at least start. So that is something I'm going to definitely take with myself.
Okay, so thank you. Those are our 2 interviews. And for the rest of the weekend, I'm going to Jaipur Art Week tomorrow, which is Saturday, 1st of February. I have something for Sunday. If I can include that, I will. And Monday, I'll be back here at JLF. Thank you. Peace. And so the next day, I started my day from Museum of, I forgot how it's called, Maha something Heritage, House of Shekhawat. And I already made these videos before I was told, no videos allowed. So I don't know if I'm supposed to put this up or take this down, but let's see. So I went in there, and it was also part of the Jaipur Art Week venues. And it was amazing. Like, I've passed in front of that place multiple times, but I never had an idea of what was happening there. And it was amazing. They have like really, really lovely art. And I think there are some offices also downstairs. And that was nice too, but we're not allowed to go downstairs, but I was able to pick a bit. And then there was something going on upstairs at the roof. There's this guy I met. He's a director, and also a sculptor, but I couldn't go to check his work because I didn't know it was there until like after. Then after that, I came to JKK, Jawahar Kala Kendra here in Jaipur. It's a really, it's something that if you're in Jaipur and you like the art scene and you have no idea what to do or where to go, if you go to JKK, there's always something going on. So I came there and there were some exhibitions and, you know, different types of exhibitions. So for example, this one was like images of refineries and stuff like that. Personally didn't interest me that much, but you know, sometimes even if you don't like something or you don't connect to something, you can still appreciate like the work and thought that was put behind it. Because, for example, I personally wouldn't think of going to a refinery to like make images and stuff like that, but you know, it was well did, and I appreciate that hard work. And then some other exhibitions were happening there, and one thing I'm beginning to enjoy a lot about Jaipur and its art scene is that Jaipur is really trying hard. Like for example, so this video was made in January, right? But this is March now that I'm making this voiceover. And the IFA was just, I think, Indian International Film something something. Please, I might be wrong. Anyway, IFA was, you know, just a few days ago here in Jaipur, and you know they had like big stars come in and stuff like that. Like literally saw someone trying to sell a ticket for like 100,000 rupees, and I was like, what? I don't think it's what it was. I mean, not me. That I'm not the person's target audience, obviously, but like that's like really expensive ticket. But I'm sure some people wouldn't mind paying that. And so while I was in the city trying to go from one venue to the other venue, I saw this carriages. Would I call them carriages? I guess I saw them moving by, and some Hindu worshippers. I don't know what was being celebrated, but you know they looked good and colorful and stuff. So I thought I'll make some images of that and stuff like that. Yeah, so after that, I proceeded from JKK to Hawa Mahal. Hawa Mahal is a building that has been there for ages and ages. Please Google it. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact details right now. And so I usually pass in front of Hawa Mahal, right? But I've never actually gone inside. I don't know. I just never thought of going inside. It looks good from outside. People like take so many photos from outside. But this was my first time going inside, and I think that we need to give a lot more credit to the people who came before us, because man, like they put in a lot of work with lesser tools than we have now, and have amazing structures that have lasted generations and generations. And so one thing I also like about India is that a lot of their touristy places, they usually have good packages, like you can get either student tickets or what's it called, or as a visitor or as an Indian. So as a student here, it makes it affordable for me to visit a lot of places except Taj Mahal. Anyway, so I came into this exhibition, and one of the reasons I also came was because there was a dancer. Her name is Kamakshi Saxena. She was supposed to do a performance, but she was lined up to perform like twice, I think, but she had already performed earlier in the day, and she wasn't going to be performing again. But you know, it was nice to look at the rugs and carpets that were on display there. Those were amazing. And why am I talking so much in this video? I don't know. Anyway, so this is like a miniature of the whole Hawa Mahal complex. Like, see how huge it is. Like, I mean, I went around as much as I could, but I don't think I can explore all this in the short time that I was there. And there are always puppeteers everywhere in India. I don't know. I think puppeteering was a huge thing in the olden days. I think it should have been, considering that they didn't have like TVs or phones or stuff like that to watch stuff from. So, I mean, they had to find some way to entertain themselves. And so, yeah, there were these guys in their puppeteering, and it was nice. And I had a different view of the Pink City from Hawa Mahal, and it was nice. And, you know, a lot of foreigners, I'm a foreigner as well, but a lot of foreigners, tourists, come to India each year, and you see them hanging around these places, and you're like, but once you actually go inside, it actually looks good. And there's so many people, and then Indians themselves also consume a lot of their own local history. I think I'll say it that way. And you can see a view of the city from here. And then after that, so there was a girl that you saw previously. So I met her somewhere before, but I she remembered me, and so we kind of just went around because she was also going to the Jaipur Art Week venues. So we came to this place. It's called Random Oranges. I think it's a museum and also has some art displays and stuff. So those cyanotype things you saw previous, those cyanotype images, was made by an artist. Oh my God, how do I forget everyone's name? Anyway, so do you remember the man from the previous slides where I said I saw him at GLF and then at the next day at Jaipur Art with that him talking, and they're talking about how the river Ganga is polluted and stuff like that. So the artist who's sitting to his left, I forgot his name too. I'll try to remember and plug them in as soon as I can. And the artist took some water from the river and some other places in the city to make his cyanotypes to show how polluted the water is. And then after that, this was now the next day. So I tried to come here as early as possible because I really wanted to hear Imtiaz Ali speak. So Imtiaz Ali is a director and he's famous for directing like really, really good movies like Jab We Met, up onto recent Chamkila, When Harry Met Sejal, what's the name, Rockstar, for like a lot of really, really good movies. And it was nice to hear things from his perspective and put things into light for a lot of young up and coming directors. And people asked him so many questions and he humbly answered them all. And then he brought on stage Vinod Khanna. I think he's a producer as well. He looks young, but he's quite an old guy. And the crowd was crazy. Like so many people, were there. I literally stood from the beginning to the end of, his session. And I was glad that I did. And then as I was leaving the session, I saw one of my friends, Simran, and her mom, who is an artist as well. And one thing I'd like now about Jaipur that going out now has kind of given me is that I meet familiar faces where I go, and I love that. And then I came back to Charbagh after grabbing some food. Did I eat? I think so. I can't remember. And then I came back, and there was this discussion with I forgot the man's name, but I know it's something Banerjee because about 4 Banerjee stood up to ask him questions, and you also had a book on food, and the person who did the illustration, the French woman, was with him, and they answered questions. And then I came for this session called The Future. Is it The Future is Black or Black to the Future? I forgot the name of session. It was something about black. And it was nice because both women were Nigerians. And I also asked a question, regarding how they feel we can collaborate with Africans in the diaspora and stuff. And then after that, I came to Surya Mahal also for my final session. And see, that's the man again from Jaipur Art Week. God, I have to put his name somewhere here because I can't just keep calling this wonderful artist. That's the man. And this man is a singer. And I think one thing that comes to singing, because I have a friend that can really, really sing, and I cannot sing to save myself, even if I do so in my own privacy. But I think people that can really, really sing they can really, really sing. Like, it's just something they can do, and it's amazing. And I love to hear people that can sing. I love to hear them sing, and I think they should sing all the time. So yeah, this was going to be my last session, but then there was one extra session that was billed. So I went there thinking that will happen, but it didn't happen. But there was this man, I think he's about 80 now, and he's a writer, and it was nice to hear him speak. I mean, the session wasn't filled because a lot of people had left, and he just let, because people throw them questions after the sessions, and he's like, whatever you want to do, just try to put in a few minutes of it every day. Like if you want to write, just try to write like 10 lines every day, and eventually you see that you've produced something very, very gorgeous, and something you can be proud of. And then you can always edit it and make it better, but first and foremost, just write. And like I always tell my friends and a few people who know me personally, just start something, and eventually you go on from there. And then this was the final closing session, and that was, filled with so many people as well. So if you are still here listening to me rant and just talk about rubbish, thank you very, very much for, sharing your time with me. And, I'm in Jaipur right now in India. Go here and there. You can watch other things and let me know what you like. Thank you.